Earlier, there's things you have to check after you caught a fish, and you can see this leader is, you know, I'm hoping you can see it in the camera. We're not professionals here, but you can see this leader is very, very chafed. Now that leader was in that fish that you saw me just catch, taking it down deep. Very, very chafed. So I will now cut this leader back and retie this jig head. Last thing I want to do is catch another one of those and just have it break off.
One thing we'll show you with the jig head too is the knot. We'll just do a close-up and hold that around by there. You can see that knot on there is a loop knot. Now we always tie a loop knot, not tied on it, because what that does is gives the lure a massive amount of action. If you have it tight, the lure, I reckon it's half the action. Now what I'll do is pan around a little bit and show you now that this bay that we're in is emptying out, and that's why you end up with a little gutter coming down, and all the fish really have to come down through the gutter. There's hundreds of places like this around, not only just here on the Gold Coast, but all over Australia. Always look for structure, and if you're not after structure, the other thing fish will go for is obviously bait. But there's got to be a reason for the fish to be there, so just look for the reasons, think like a fish. Anyway, let's get back to it. What we're doing, there's a little gutter just up in here. It's the same sort of thing. The bait fish will be coming out and the flathead will sit out around here. It's only pretty shallow, we're probably in a metre of water or less, and the flathead will try and get right up there to get the bait. There's been a lot of prawn in the water, but just look for anything, any little bait fish or whatever. All you do is just cast right up the top. Now up there is probably only about 500, 400 mils of water. Just little twitches, twitch it, relax, twitch it, relax, twitch it. Just keep doing that. Just pause. A fair bit of weed here, and that's a pretty good thing too, because flathead do get in the weeds, so you will get a lot of weed on your hooks, but where you got weed, sand, it's good ambush territory. Flathead, like a lot of fish, they're ambush predators. They'll sit on the bottom buried in sand. I just wanted to let everybody know too, you can probably guess where I'm from, the Gold Coast, and I'm involved in the local fishing club, the Gold Coast Sport Fishing Club. We run the Flathead Classic every year, so I'd really recommend everybody get involved with that. Get involved with your local fishing club to learn how to fish. That's what we've all done. We've all started that way. And for local members, I just want to let you know, I've got a unique fishing boat where I've actually got torpedoes installed in the bow. So if I come here next week and there's 4,000 people here, I'm deadly accurate. Now where's Phil? Phil's got a fish. Okay. Let's move that over that side. And that's what happens, just little working away. Only a little one. There you go, that's how you do it. Now that's a baby, where there's babies, there's bigger ones. I'll show you another interesting way that you can hold a flathead. Just put your thumb there, and you can actually hold, sometimes you can hold it. Pretty slippery, but you know, you just got to watch up near the head where those gill rakers are. Those spikes, they really hurt. As I've said in one of my other videos, if you sorry, little fishy, if you do get spiked, I'm coming. I'll just grab the towel.
Just while Phil's doing that, another thing worth mentioning is when you've caught a flathead and they've taken it deep down, please check your leader. They've got very abrasive teeth, and there's more than one flathead been lost with weak leaders. So they do chafe it up, but check it, don't risk it, because the next flathead could be the big one. And you know, when you're fishing 12-pound mono or fluorocarbon as a leader, you seriously don't want it abraded. So please check that every time that you've caught a flathead or the flathead's taken it down deep.
Now, one other thing too, flathead have got these nasty spikes up behind the head. You will inevitably get whacked by one. If you do, they've got a poison in them. Just rub this finger where you've been spiked underneath them there, and it seems to counteract the actual poison. Let this little one go. Off he goes for another day. But that just shows you how simple it really is. You don't need a lot of action. The fish nearly always, they don't bite like normal bait, they'll actually just grab it. Because that's why it's extremely important to have the lure, the profile of a fish. So they're not thinking, oh, what is this thing? They just think it's a fish and whack. Anyway, okay. Kev's on again. Same thing. Bring around. Playing up a bit. Okay. Another one now. We're pretty early still on the tide. We're getting here for the low tide. There's a lot of bait busting up, but as the tide gets better and better, and lower and lower, we'll get more fish. But these are all really good fish. And again, it's the action we're using. Bozo's lures are exceptional, obviously I'd say that, but look, they're all designed in Australia for our fish, and they work. You know, I mightn't have the budgets of some of the big guys, but I'm pretty good at dropping the fish as well. But those the grips.
I was saying earlier on, check your leader. I've just caught that fish, I'm checking my leader. Even a small one will rasp up your leader.
So that's just a really nice little fish. That's probably about 46, 47 centimetres. A beautiful eating size fish. But no, that's it. Just not a lot of action, and just let the fish. We're noticing today we're actually pausing a fair bit in between our little wrist flicks, and but they're going to get more and more active as the day goes on, or the next hour or so to the low tide. Another one up. I think too, some smaller ones you haven't got to play them. This one's a little bit better, but I'll show you more. Just bring it forward, wind the slack. Keep pressure on them all the time. Oh, he's foul hook, that's why I felt a bit better. He's wrapped around. You always think you got a shark on when you're there, foul hook. There's still another good fish. This is probably about 45. No illegal limits on flathead. Dusky flathead are minimum's 40 centimetres and maximum now is 75 centimetres, but I'd encourage you anything over 70, definitely put them back, because they're always going to be breeding females, and that's really important. This one's woofed the lure again though, even though it's just hooked under that spike that I was telling you about that you don't want to get your fingers near. Anyway.